The year after Star Wars was released to theaters, another space opera burst onto the scene, but this time on television. The Battlestar Galactica 148-minute pilot titled Saga of a Star World aired on ABC in September 1978. But a shorter 125-minute theatrical version was screened in Canadian theaters a few months prior. In this video, we are going to look at 10 amazing facts about the Marvel Comics Battlestar Galactica adaptation of Saga of the Star World. Please like and subscribe so I can continue to bring you content like this one. Number 10. The comic adaptation was released in multiple formats. Marvel rushed a Battlestar Galactica comic adaptation of Saga of a Star World to newsstands a month before the television series debuted. Like Star Wars, the comic was released in several formats: a 50-page magazine-sized Marvel Super Special number 8, a Treasury-sized Super Special, and a paperback-sized Marvel Illustrated books. Marvel Super Special number 8 was released October 10, 1978, and there are huge differences in this comic versus what was shown in the pilot episode. The cover for the magazine and Treasury are similar, but are actually done by different artists. Bob Larkin provides the wraparound painted cover artwork for the magazine, but Rick Bryant provides a line art version for the Treasury edition. There are also minor differences in the artwork and dialogue between these two versions. A big difference between the Battlestar Galactica and Star Wars adaptations is the page count. Star Wars was given 104 pages to tell its story, but Battlestar Galactica only received 31 pages despite the much longer source material. As we'll see, I suspect Battlestar Galactica's adaptation was cut short because they were rushed to deliver. 2 months later, on December 12, 1978, the first issue of the ongoing Battlestar Galactica title was released. The pilot episode was split up into 3 issues for the title, but most of the artwork and dialogue was redone to fix problems with the original adaptation. The artist for both versions is Ernie Colon. Not only are there multiple versions of Saga of a Star World in live action, but there are also multiple versions in comics as well. The first issue of the comic overlaps with the first 18 pages of the adaptation in the magazine. The second and third issues do not reuse any of the remaining 13 pages from the magazine, but instead they both contain all new artwork. In total, the standard comic adaptation contains 52 pages of artwork compared to the 31 pages for the earlier magazine version. The inconsistencies between the comic adaptation and the pilot are many, and they start on the very first page. Number 9. The peace envoy representing the 12 colonies is made up of different ships. In the film, only Battlestars make up the peace envoy representing the 12 colonies. In the comic book, the colonial fleet contains a variety of spacecraft. Ernie Colon was no doubt provided stills from the pilot and used one of the stills for the ragtag fleet for the opening page of the comic. A subtle change is made to the opening page for Battlestar Galactica number 1, where one of the spacecraft is duplicated behind the Galactica. The colonial attendees of the peace conference is slightly different between the pilot and the comic. Number 8. Athena is present at the conference aboard the Battlestar Atlantia. Athena, the daughter of the Battlestar Galactica's commander Adama, is not shown to be aboard Battlestar Atlantia in the pilot. She does fly the shuttle that takes her father back to the Battlestar Galactica, so it is probable she is present, but just not shown. In the comic, she is never drawn in the room with the delegates from the 12 colonies, but President Adar does address her as if she is there in his dialogue. Another attendee of the conference is depicted incorrectly from his appearance in the television series. Number 7. Baltar is bald. Baltar is attending the conference, although it isn't clear from the dialogue if that is really supposed to be him or another attendee. The reason I doubt this was originally meant to be Baltar is he is speaking about himself in the third person, including thanking himself for bringing peace between the colonies and the Cylons. Additionally, President Adar is talking to him as if he is not Baltar. Baltar appears later in the story, and there he is wearing the same clothes, so even if this character was not meant to originally be Baltar, he is now. For the magazine, Treasury, and paperback, Baltar is drawn without hair throughout the adaptation. In the standard format, this is fixed to match the film where Baltar does have hair, but the dialogue between him and Aldar is not fixed and is still very awkward. 2 more characters are depicted incorrectly in the magazine but are fixed in the standard format. One character is Colonel Tigh, the executive officer aboard the Battlestar Galactica. Number 6. Colonel Tigh is depicted differently. This is a mistake that makes reading the magazine, treasury, and paperback versions of the adaptation extremely difficult. In the treasury, Colonel Tigh is drawn completely different for the first 11 pages. From page 12 onwards, he looks more like the actor Terry Carter. It looks like Ernie Cullen was using a reference of Richard Hatch to draw Colonel Tigh, because even the clothes he wears is wrong and match Apollo's colonial warrior outfit. An attempt to darken the character's skin tone is made in the treasury, but not every panel, unfortunately. The depiction of the character's head is fixed in some panels in Marvel Super Special number 8, and his skin tone is darkened even more. Unfortunately, they missed fixing the skin tone in some panels here as well. For Battlestar Galactica number 1, Colonel Tigh is redrawn yet again, this time fixing his uniform as well. Ernie Cullen must have been on an extremely tight schedule for the treasury because he does draw the character correctly, except for his uniform from page 12 onward, but he never goes back to fix this on the earlier pages. If I had to guess the publishing order based on this character's depiction alone, I would say the treasury and paperback were printed first, then Marvel Super Special number 8. This is similar to the publishing order for different formats of the Empire Strikes Back adaptation. Since Colonel Tigh was drawn using Richard Hatch's likeness as a reference, it only makes sense that Apollo is incorrectly depicted in the first version as well. Number 5. Apollo is initially blonde. When Apollo returns from his patrol, he goes to the bridge to give his report to his father, Commander Adama, and learns that his brother Zach's Viper was destroyed by the approaching Cylons just shy of the fleet. In the magazine, treasury, and paperback, Apollo's hair is colored yellow, but Richard Hatch is a brunette. When Apollo returns to Caprica with his father, he is shown to have the correct brown hair color, and his hair remains brown for the remainder of the story. His hair is corrected to be brown in Battlestar Galactica number 1. Apollo is drawn to have longer hair, but one panel in the treasury has Apollo saying, "Zach, no, I left him, and the character has shorter hair. In the magazine, this is fixed to be Colonel Tigh, and the dialogue now reads, "Zach did what he could bravely." For Battlestar Galactica number 1, this is changed back to being Apollo. The character's hair is lengthened, and the dialogue reverted to the original version. Number 4. The fate of Muffit is shown. In the pilot, Boxey is chasing Muffit, a Daggett, through the panicked crowds in the plaza on Caprica while the Cylon raiders attack. Serena races to get Boxey and shelters him near a building. A man picks up Boxey and pulls Serena to safety away from the building, claiming it is about to collapse. We see Muffit running towards the pair, but the building collapses and presumably crushes the Daggett. Muffit's fate in the comic is less uncertain. In the comic, as Serena and Boxey leave the area, Serena spots Muffit crushed in the rubble, but hides the Daggett's fate from Boxey. In the magazine, treasury, and paperback, the Daggett is correctly called Muffit, but this was changed in Battlestar Galactica number 1 to the name Muffy. It's not clear why the name was changed. Number 3. Cylons are referred to as creatures. In the Battlestar Galactica series, Cylons are clearly called out as being non-organic robots. Originally, the Cylons were going to be reptilian, but this was changed to robots during the production of the pilot. This gave the creators freedom to show more Cylons being killed during episodes of the series. In the comic, when Apollo and Zach are on patrol, they refer to the Cylons as creatures, which implies they are some sort of living organism, not a robot. In similar dialogue in the pilot, the Cylons are referred to as creeps, not creatures. Exactly how Zach ends up on patrol with his older brother is different in the comics from the film. Number 2. Zach is on patrol with Apollo because he is the low man on the roster. Zach is fresh from the academy and eager for his first patrol in a colonial Viper, so he and Starbuck try to convince Apollo that Starbuck is too sick to fly. Even though Apollo sees through the ruse, he allows Zach to fly patrol with him. In the comic, Zach does not conspire with Starbuck to go on patrol. Instead, he pulls the duty because he was the low man on the roster. Apollo and Zach's patrol plays out differently in Marvel Super Special number 8 than in the standard format. Number 1. 8 full pages of artwork in Battlestar Galactica number 1 are redrawn. Since the ongoing title did not start until December, Marvel had an opportunity to fix many of the issues with their original version of the adaptation. In addition to expanding the story to 52 pages from 31 pages, which mostly impact Battlestar Galactica number 2 and 3, Ernie Cullen redrew 8 of the first 18 pages for Battlestar Galactica number 1, making them completely different. This means only 10 of the 31 pages of artwork used in the other formats made it into the ongoing series. Both page 5 and 6 are redrawn. On page 5 in the magazine, Zach is more confident, but in Battlestar Galactica number 1, it is clear he is shaken after his Viper is hit by the Cylon Raider, which matches the pilot episode. Both pages show the maneuver where the Vipers fly backwards, but in the standard format, they are only being chased by 2 Raiders, where in the pilot episode, it is 4 Raiders. On page 6, Commander Adama returns from the Battlestar Atlantia to the Galactica. He learns the patrol is under fire, but they have not identified the culprits. Battlestar Galactica number 1 clarifies that Commander Adama requested the communication with President Adar and Baltar. It also shows Adama asking the president to bring the fleet to a state of alert, which the president says he will consider. The next redrawn pages are page 8 and 9. On page 8, we witness the death of Zach, and in the magazine, Commander Adama reacts to this news. In Battlestar Galactica number 1, Apollo leaves Zach to inform the fleet of the approaching Cylons, and then Zach's Viper is destroyed. On page 9, both the magazine and standard format show the Galactica crew learning it is Cylon fighters, and they scramble the pilots to their Colonial Vipers to intercept them. In the magazine, Starbuck, Boomer, and other pilots are playing poker when the alarm is raised. In Battlestar Galactica number 1, Adama reacts to the death of his son Zach, and the pilots are shown racing to their ships and launching. This new version does not show the pilots gambling. The original page showing Adama mourning the loss of Zach is more impactful. I did like that the crew member is wearing a jumpsuit that tells us she is part of Starbuck's crew in the standard format. The next reworked pages are page 11 and 12. On page 11, we see Apollo react to the death of his brother and the aftermath of the attack on the Atlantia. In the magazine, more time is spent showing President Adar on the bridge of his ship while flames consume it. In Battlestar Galactica number 1, Commander Adama reasons there are no Cylon base stars being used for the attack because they are elsewhere, and we are shown 2 panels where the Imperious leader, aboard a Cylon base star, orders the launch of the attack against the 12 colony worlds, which is shown in the pilot. President Adar's plight is reduced to a single panel. On page 12, the Battlestar Atlantia explodes. Commander Adama makes the decision to pull the Galactica out of the fight and races toward their homeworld of Caprica, leaving their pilots behind. In the magazine, this is the page where Adama figures out the Cylons' plot to attack their homeworlds. In the standard format, we get one more panel of the president before his Battlestar is destroyed. The final 2 pages that are redone are page 17 and 18. On page 17, Apollo is confronted by angry Capricans who want to know where the colonial fleet was while the Cylons were killing them. In the magazine, Apollo explains most of the fleet was destroyed and the surviving colonists should take to space in every vehicle they can so the Galactica can protect them. In Battlestar Galactica number 1, Adama appears and tells the survivors the fleet didn't come together until it was too late. To smooth the transition to this new page, the dialogue on the final panel on page 16 is modified in the standard format. On page 18, the ragtag fleet of survivors is being assembled while Commander Adama lays out their situation and his desire to find the 13th colony on a planet called Earth. In the magazine, while Adama is speaking, they also start introducing the plot of a Solium leak on one of the ships which Apollo, Starbuck, and Boomer investigate. In Battlestar Galactica number 1, the final page only focuses on Adama's speech, which is fairly accurate to the pilot episode. This also was a logical breakpoint in the story to end the first issue on. Some of you know there are more differences, but this video covers just the material in the first chapter of the adaptation of Saga of the Star World. A future video will cover the final 2 chapters in this story. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe so I can bring you more content, and please leave a comment below.